birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday, dear Damneders.
Happy birthday to you.
That was the most dad thing that I've ever seen.
Why was he born so beautiful? Why was he born at all?
Okay, let's
Do you have a good birthday so far?
I guess so, yeah. I've not really done anything. Although I went to get some bread out of the freezer and it was moldy in the freezer, so that's good.
Ooh.
Well,
to be moldy before you put it in the freezer.
Oh yeah, probably.
I was gonna say some days you can just go to bed again, but it's your birthday, so you can't do that really.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this, do my big shop, and we'll see how much other work I can be bothered to do.
Or getting yourself.
You're gonna go and play Factorio again.
Probably.
I know what you like.
There's a strong possibility.
You absolute addict.
Welcome everybody to Old Grumblers podcast. This is the anniversary episode where we're celebrating 1 year.
Like 2 months late.
Who's counting? It's fine.
It's episode 19. Funnily enough, the date. Actually, we shouldn't do that. Not the date. That's
what?
Let's start that again. I'm making a joke about how it's the date today, but then I shouldn't date the episode, so it's not the date.
Oh, I see. Right. No, I'm with you. I thought you were doing like some bit. I didn't understand what the bit was.
Yeah, let's just cut that.
But for people who are just tuning in or maybe like catching up or something like that, because maybe you're in the glorious year 2026 or something like that, right now we're waiting for the next DLC in Total War, which will be the one with corn, ogres, and greenskins. We don't know how it's going to be yet. We're going to talk a little bit about it in the episode. That's number 3, because I'm switching over number 3 to number 4 now. Yeah, that's the timeline for people.
Are you revising the schedule then?
Yeah.
Well, then you need to edit it in the, because otherwise I'm still. You need to edit it.
I am. Don't worry.
I feel like this intro is extremely shit. We might need to do that one again. That was dog shit.
I think people like the shit intro. I think, to be honest, the shitter the intro, the more they like it. There we go.
I just hope that, they can get past it, because clearly we can't do much better. like we try. It's just not very good.
We don't try.
No, I mean, we could probably try more.
We lean into it. Or at least I do. Maybe that's the problem. Good.
Okay, I always just like, and here we go with that. You guys are just like.
Good.
All right, good stuff. Anyway, we've been doing this for a year.
Yeah,
how do you guys feel about it?
The original episode. How about we talk about where Total War's come from first, because the first planned episode was the state of the game post Shadows of Change. Although the first actual episode was the Hyenas being cancelled because it came out of nowhere and CA had a load of layoffs. I feel like we're in a bit of a bitter place, but it's been a cold. Well, it's been a cold summer, but it's been a long, barren summer, autumn, getting into winter now. The content drops. Thrones of Decay it was pretty good, but we just we need to up that tempo a little bit. Because my God,
yes, it has been very slow.
Yeah. Oh Jesus, the chatter change. That was such a bitter time for the entirety of the community. Jesus Christ.
That was the time when I was like looking on Indeed, like I'm gonna need you soon. That's goddamn this shit fucking sucks.
What skills do you have, Anders?
Well, moving on.
Anyway, yeah. So obviously, how long has it been since Thrones of Decay? Has it been 8 months?
Something like that, right? Came out in like April or May, right?
The Thrones of Decay episode was May 6th, which was towards the end of the DLC period. So a long time.
Shadow changed. Let's talk about like the little bit of time frame. The first one was for Hyenas. That feels like a lifetime ago, like before the troubles began. Not
that the troubles ended there, really. That was more like the start of the troubles, and then the troubles continued for a little while.
Yeah, the troubles was just a bit because my wife is half Irish, so whenever we go there, her grandma is always just like, weren't here for the troubles, but it was pretty bad. It just like keeps on going like that. So I just want to say like the troubles for a bit, but yeah, the really bad vibes parts was like awful.
Yeah, that Shadows of Change was a tough time to like Total War games, to make content, because like we were pissed at CA for making Shadows of Change pretty shit. People were pissed at us for then covering it. So it's just like this grand circle of piss where no one wins.
Yeah, everybody was so bitter as well. And I was streaming still like almost every day, like I do. And it's like people would just come in and just be like angry at shits, just in general, not maybe at me or maybe at that, but it was just such a bad vibes period. It got so bad. There was this like list of influencers that like got out, that was being spread around as well, which is like oh yeah, like these people have talked well of Total War in the past or whatever, you know, like it was just insane. It got such an insane period of time, really.
It was a shill list or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. I was just I don't want
to don't want to give attention to that those sorts of people.
I just like that it was like, oh, they're getting paid by CA. Bitch, I wish I was.
Have been since, which, you know, kind of back pay for like however many years of getting jack shit and getting fucked over.
Yeah, I mean,
which
it all kind of ended when Cody made that really good episode about just like everything, how it actually works. Because obviously no one is getting paid constantly. It's just like they do some promotions and then you get paid for like 2 hours or like a video or something like that, and then it's over for them, and then you can do whatever the heck you want to meanwhile, even if that is just making like, you know, this game now bad type of videos.
One thing that also happened over the course that was another low point was the death of the old partner program. Obviously we can't say too much about the new partner program, like we can't tell you what we're, you know, that we know the next DLC is going to be Norse and Vampire Counts, because it definitely is.
Technically the NDAs for the old ones are gone, aren't they?
Well, yeah, but we can't talk about like how it is now. If it's in,
no.
Like obviously we can't tell you that the next DLC is in fact Norse and Vampire Counts. Can you imagine if it was now and I'd like somehow
you've been cancelled down this.
Just get booed
retroactively, like CA would just like kick in your door and shoot you in the head.
I wish I had that knock sound effect still handy. I don't think I do.
I think what we can say is that we can be mean to Creative Assembly if we want to. We just they don't say we have to be nice about them all the time.
No,
we can be critical.
Now it's like this: you can say whatever you want as long as you don't like go on personal attacks, essentially. And as long as you have some form of constructive criticism as well. It's like, I hate this. This is bad. If you want to listen to that shit, that's like cool and all. But a real person with real thoughts would probably be, this is bad. This is how they should do it. This is how I would like it. Yeah. You wouldn't do like, this is bad. Whoever did this, I will find you. I will use your name and I will hate you. I will create hate posts and videos about you. You know, like that's insane behavior, which anyone can understand.
Yeah. Yes. In my opinion, the communication is improving, which is it's just good. Like that is how it should be.
I mean, in retrospect, Shadow Change was a good thing because they needed that gut punch to understand that everything here is shit. They need to fix everything. And Sega also went in, threw it chucked stuff off the table and just went, you guys need to get it together. You're tanking $1 billion franchise. And people there were just like, wait, what do they want then? Oh no, we have this forum where they have suggestions. What?
We have like 1 billion content creators who all say this is what we want. How are we supposed to know?
Yeah,
it's good to have a kick up the ass sometimes. It really made them like, oh shit, we are like fucked if we don't. If Total War is a success.
I also think it's more of a management thing, isn't it? The management really needed a good kicking.
Yeah,
because I feel like the devs desperately want time to work on certain things.
Yeah, we're obviously talking about management in all this stuff. Like the average dev doesn't have any control over anything.
No, they get ordered to work on a thing. They will work on that thing. They have very little say in what they work on. So
I do think that they kind of missed the point of a lot of stuff, though, because the old DLCs that were liked. I don't know if you guys ever go and check out like what we used to get. We used to get like 3 units or something like that, and then 1 lord and 3. It wasn't a lot. We just got a new lord, a new mechanic, a rework. That was $10 basically.
Yeah, it's like the price increase at this point, like it just is what it is because games are so freaking expensive. Like there's a new Silent like 60, 70 pounds, which is just like, I mean, I'm sure like the game's good. I've heard it's good. I'm excited to play it, but goddamn, that's a hefty chunk for a video game. But I don't know. I feel like they're putting too much value in units. In my opinion, mechanics are like so much more valuable than a unit, especially if it's a unit that's not very good.
Yeah,
I'm playing the Grumblers. Goddamn, they suck.
It's hard to know what unit, because there's lots of units in campaign where I go, I would never recruit that because it's useless.
Yeah.
But equally, there's units that I go that are useless in campaign that you hear the multiplayers go, oh no, that's really good.
Yeah, but it's campaign is so different because you have so much more money to spend. Money doesn't really become a thing. You more like fight time, like how long it takes to recruit. And then things just get overridden, right? Like you don't need the normal high elf spearmen when you have the Silvering Guards. At the same time, you don't actually even need the Phoenix Guards anymore because you have the Silvering Guards. So that's just 2 dudes that just completely are removed. So if you just have Silvering Guards to your front line, what else gets removed? Well, White Lions, Sword Masters, like, the list just goes on because the damage is going to come from your Sister of Avalon anyway. And some people might go into the comments now and go and say stuff like, that's not true at all. I use my Sword Masters all the time. It's like, yeah, good for you. But like, that's, you can do whatever you want. It's just not optimal.
I think the part of the problem is that a meta gets, like, everyone gets into their own meta. Like, there is one, there will be one strongest build, but everyone will get into their own thing where it's like, I'm going to have this line of Ironbreakers, I'm going to have these ranged units, this artillery unit, a big bomb ship, whatever it's called, and then that's it, I'm set. And then you just never touch anything else. Whereas like some of these new units, like in particular with jumping forward a bit to Malachi, like his new Slayer units are kind of shit, but if you're doing a full Slayer army, they're pretty fun. And they're actually decent. It just all depends on like if you are playing for a gimmick, like you can do in lower difficulties of campaign a lot easier, or if you're playing for the most effective thing possible, it just
it
makes units much less viable.
I will also, before the comments tear me asunder, like I do a lot of gimmick armies, and I will do like Slayer only Ungrim and only Archers, Lithinor and etc. So I just don't use the same things all the time. But I think you're really touching the hammer on the nail there, or whatever you say.
Hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, I'm not a carpenter, but it really goes to show how everybody has just been playing video games for the entire life as well. Sometimes you just have an easier time with some stuff. I remember when I tried to learn the Wood Elves, like I had a hard time learning the Wood Elves back when they were released in like 2016 or whatever the heck. Because I just didn't play stuff like that. Because I had played other stuff and I had really easy time learning other things. Now, you played so much Total War that nothing, it was kind of, I guess, everything anyway.
I will say that the Wood Elves were kind of bullshit. Their amber mechanic was awful.
They're a bit of weird factions. If you like going for the most optimal battle strategy, it's so weird. It's just like pure cheese skirmish. Never ever see anyone. Yeah, a little bit annoying.
Can do this. I mean, the normal front lines are like super good. I think their tier 1 Spearmen is like the best tier 1 front line in the game.
They have exceptionally high armor or something, don't they? It's like for the early game, it's extremely high.
I can't remember. They're just really good. At least one of the best ones.
Yeah, full show.
I think it comes down to Total War's difficulty, doesn't it? In that it kind of forces you to play in a certain way, which is not necessarily that fun.
I mean, it's also... It does force you to be optimized, but you can play a little bit however you want to in other regards if you're just... But it's just going to be a hassle to do that. That's why it's really easy to just slide into the easy optimal route if you play Legendary all the time, especially with like Heracles AI and things like that.
If
this wiki page is right there, 40 armor, 80 leadership, 36 defense. And for like a tier 1 unit, you don't need any building to recruit. That's
they're pretty good. Maybe Dwarf Warriors are slightly stronger
Dwarf
for
Warriors
tier
are
1, but they
ridiculous
don't
tier
have charge defense and all that, right?
And they
Or at
also
least they don't
cost
have anti-large.
They also cost like $1 gazillion a turn because they're dwarves.
Yeah, but dwarves also have $1 gazillion amounts of dollars as well every time.
True.
Anyway,
I think less than they used to until they build their underway buildings, and then they have literally all the money in the world.
You know, I was going to mention like another great change inside of the bad DLC is free updates. I mean, fair enough, breaks all my mods relentlessly, which pisses me off to no end. But no, the free updates are excellent ideas. I didn't love the free updates, Shadows of Change, because I was just like, I don't know, I feel like that should just like buried it as quickly as possible, made everyone forget about it. But I appreciate the effort. But since then, like the underways or the deeps, whatever it's called, great change.
And I actually think that works better than the grudge mechanic, which feels wildly over aggressive for dwarves to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I don't know if they thought about it too much. It was more like, deeps, that's pretty cool. And then they didn't think about like, oh yeah, grudges, you need to expand all the time and fight stuff all the time. But you should also like just have one settlement. And it's like,
yeah, it's you know, say we're never perfect. I don't want anyone to get that in their head that we're saying like, oh well, they're not back to their perfect standard like they used to be. No, they've always been like, there was always something that was just ridiculous. Monster hunts haven't worked for 15 years. The siege replays just do not work. Don't say anything.
don't get me started.
I mean, in the way as well, we know that like deeps and stuff like that is made by like one dude who was just sitting there like, I think this would be cool, and they just like add that in. So in the end, I don't blame them for not having it balanced, because it's like one dude who just want to do something cool, and I think that's like the best parts.
Oh yeah,
that's what you should do.
That's where you get like the most. I watched the you see the Half-Life 2 documentary that came out the other day.
Yeah,
meant to watch that.
I watched it. Well, I finished watching it yesterday, and apparently like the multiplayer stuff was just like two guys like, this engine's cool. How about we just play it in multiplayer together? And Gabe walked past and was like, make me a playable build. And then that's like, it just went on from there. Like, that's where the best ideas come from, is just devs thinking, oh, this would be fun, and just doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's probably why No Man's Sky has so many goddamn updates, because they're a team of like 25, 30 people or something. So there's like churn out stuff. There's no, somebody just goes around like, hey, that looks cool. Keep on doing that. Instead of how it probably was before Shadow Change, where it was just, oh yeah, I want to do this. And like, let's have a meeting. I'll schedule in for 2 weeks from now.
So I try to talk to a bloody GP.
It does feel like Creative Assembly is very corporate in structure, and it takes ages to get anything done.
Yeah.
Which I think probably explains why we kind of, because when Warhammer 3 came out, we did sort of see this almost abandoning. It wasn't abandonment, but it felt like it, where we just didn't see anything happen to Warhammer 3, despite the fact that people were going, well, this stuff doesn't work very well. And it just, nothing happened for months.
I mean,
6 months before we got a big, like we got Immortal Empires and all that. I thought it was going to be a month like Warhammer 2.
Not to go all ogring on you, but simple as, it was just released too early. Like someone was breathing down CA's neck, or CA was breathing down Total War Team's neck, just being like, we need some money, release the game. And it just wasn't ready. And that's, you know, that's just the story of the modern games industry, sadly.
I also think that they kind of got tunnel visioned a little bit, because I was thinking about this the other day, about the Realm of Chaos quest battles, where you have that sort of, you know, you have to go to one location, defend, go to the next.
Oh, the survival.
Location,
yeah, I played one of those the other day just for funs. It was not fun.
No, I genuinely think I did the Realm of Zinch with the ogres, and I think that was the single worst time I've ever had in Total War. Yeah, it was. It was just, I hated it. I hated every second of it. It was horrible. I just wanted it over. It was an absolutely vile experience. And the problem was that you've got ogres who are quite large and, you know, rely on sort of charging and, you know, barreling through you. And then you go, right, well, one, we've got this really tight area for you to maneuver around in, so enjoy that. Plus all the enemies can open fire on you and can arc. That's going to be great. Oh, and also they're just going to keep spawning. So if you want to like rear charge anyone, well, someone's going to come and rear charge you in a minute anyway. Have fun. I was like, this is awful. Like, it's just, I feel like they could have made that good, but I don't think they saw how bad it was. I think it works okay for factions like Cathay and Kislev.
Yeah, anyone that can turtle, it works great. Well, not great, but it works.
That's what it's there for. But factions like Khorne and Slaanesh is just like, what? You're just going to get jumped. Like, if you try and rear charge someone, you've got more guys constantly spawning in. It's just horrible. It's a horrible experience. And it boggles my mind that they didn't... They must have play tested this, right? They must have play tested.
They were so proud of the survival battles as well. Like, it's the first demo we ever had. So they like clearly wanted this to be one of the defining features in the build-up to Arma 3. It's, yeah, and they were fun. Like the first time you played them, but then by the time you're doing like your fourth campaign, because you know what it was like at the launch of Arma 3, you were just blitzing through them all as fast as possible. I don't want to do this again. I'm just bored. But yeah, it's definitely one thing about Realms of Chaos. It's interesting that they were like so laser focused on it. Like, this is the big grand story campaign, and they're like, for future DLCs, we're maybe just going to abandon it if we feel like it, because no one really cares that much. And I mean, they're right, and it's probably the right thing to do, rather than just like cramming them in. If it means quicker releases because they don't need to cram them in and make like a story, that's fine. But I don't know. I'd like the stories to be there a bit more, especially the victory conditions, which have still just not improved.
Yeah, I think it's a shame they didn't in some way.
Thrones of Decay have some better ones. Like
some of the new factions do, yeah.
They're starting to get better ones, and it's also definitely on their radar as well. But like Uwu Tamer-chan, he has just gets your chieftains, and then you go to Null.
But at the same time, it's a shame they're not a little bit more open. At the same time, I quite like the idea of the Realms of Chaos as an entity being somewhere you can kind of visit to get nice rewards.
Yeah.
Like something you can do. Kind of like, did anyone play the Age of Wonders DLC with the creepy, spooky tentacle boys? So basically you've now got kind of like where you could go to the underground. You've now got this like other realm you can go to, which causes you attrition to be in there. But there's prizes to be won, which is a nice idea.
That'd be such a great way to integrate them into Immortal. I wish they were in Immortal Empires, because like seeing them, I mean, the maps need a bit of a rework, because that Slaanesh one and the Siege one are a fucking pain in the ass to get around. Like, holy shit. But just like having some maps where you can go into the realms of Chaos, like fuck the Chaos Wastes, that shit sucks. The realms, and it's just inhabited by like, you could put a faction that starts there and they can like launch out across the world and launch incursions, which, you know, is one of the main problems of getting around the world, but I'll come back to that later. I just feel like it's such a waste to make these bits of the map and make these battle maps that you never see if you don't play Realms of Chaos. Like the battle maps in the realms of Sinch and Khorne and etc. are so cool, but you just never see them if you don't play Realms of Chaos, which who does?
I was just looking here as which ones are our best episodes that have been the most popular ones as well. Do you guys have anyone that you like really enjoyed doing?
You're trying to get us back on track?
No, I zoned out for like 5 minutes ago because we were so off track. So I was like, how do we get us back? And then I was like, hey, maybe we should go and check out like the 1 year stuff. Because like, oh yeah, Shadow changed. That was like when we started it. And now we're like back to Realms of Chaos, and we're reliving that trauma as well. So
that's what we're here for, reliving trauma. That's basically our whole bit. But
only for this
to answer your question, I really liked when we had Cody Bonds on.
Yeah,
I'm a big Cody
that was
fan.
good.
It's just he's a fun guy to talk to.
Yeah,
he is a fun guy to talk to.
And also, I just like talking about reworks because that's like
he's a fun guy, but not like the greenskins.
Nice. Yeah, anyway, we talk about reworks. I also liked where we talked about mods, even though that video has absolutely no views. I just like talking about mods.
We can do another one with mods. Yeah. I think we should do another one with mods.
Maybe with guest, perhaps.
Yes.
Someone that's quite big into modding.
Yeah.
Someone who's big into modding. Mm-hmm. Well, so check it out.
You really dragged us to a stop with that one, Fred.
No, I did not. No, the guests have been pretty fun though. Like I can't really think of any guest that wasn't like a absolute hoot.
No, the nice thing about the Total War sort of like content creator scene is that I genuinely can't think of anyone who I go, oh yeah, no, that guy's an asshole. They're all really nice people.
Yeah, apart from me and Fred, of course.
Yeah.
Even you have your good sides.
If you say so.
No.
Let me just look through the pattern program and see what I don't like.
No, they're all pretty chillax. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. I have an easy time getting along with a lot of people as well. Maybe that's why this has worked so long.
Which kind of moves on to part 4 of your list.
No, not yes. No, yes.
Yeah, no, I think we have to jump. Should we jump?
No, it doesn't.
You could always you could edit the list.
No, I won't. We can always. I mean, no, I don't know. You know what? A year has gone pretty fast, and I've been enjoying making this one.
Yeah, this is well, let's be honest here. Like, we were never really making this to be like some big success show. We were more making this like just for therapy. So like the fact that it's got as like obviously it's not got like ridiculous numbers, but you know there's an episode there with 11,000 views. That's pretty good. Most of them over 1,000. Like my Factorio video that came out yesterday absolutely bombed harder than this, so you know can't complain. This episode's gonna have some cuts. I'll tell you that now. I normally just kind of let it ride, but this one is all over the place.
Cuts? What? You edit these?
Normally I just let it. Normally I'm just like, right, intro, this, end, and let it ride. But this one is gonna have some cut. Who wants to hear about us? Come, oh, my video didn't get enough views. Shut up, bitch. No one cares about you. I think we should talk about Vassals.
Yes.
You know, no particular reason. Didn't just look at the list and be like, let's pull this one back.
Let's move.
Wow,
okay, so
the list coming into play here.
Well, this was like the main one of the things that I want to talk about, because in the last episode where the idea of like, what if you could control your vassals a bit more? It just made me think like vassals as they are now are kind of like shit. The only reason to get them is because I don't want to look after this territory, so you just do it for me. But then the AI is just a moron hello cat and does it poorly. So come on, Monsters, how would you change a vassal?
I'm gonna tell you a story now.
Oh, wow.
I was playing Heinrich Kemmler campaign, and
Meth Gandalf.
That's right, Meth Gandalf. And I had. Have you noticed how his legs clip through his skirt and he's not wearing any trousers?
Ooh, saucy.
He's just got really hairy legs. Anyway,
I dream of a future where clothing will not clip through everything on models. One day, graphics will go that far. One day.
Graphics do go that far, just not in the shitty-ass Total War engine that we've been using for the last, 20 years.
Like, every single game it does that. Every single game it just clips through.
My personal hate in any MMORPG is a mage class, because they always wear robes, and the robes always look absolute arse. I'm like, give me trousers or death. Anyway, it's not the point. So I was playing Meth Gandalf, and for some reason, right, Ikit had come up from below. So he was taking up southern Bretonia, and I took a settlement that he had them. I think he had Corone and not Corone.
Paravon, Bastion,
Castle Carcassonne. He had that one, and then there was this little settlement that's associated with it, and I'd taken that one, and I was like, well, I'll give you that because I don't want it. Right? We can be friends. However, he wanted to be more than friends. He wanted for me to be his Gandalf. Meth Gandalf Dom Daddy. And decided to let me vassalize him.
That's very bizarre, but okay.
Yeah, the AI wildly overvalues settlements to the point where it will get on its knees and suck you off just to have a minor settlement. You're gonna have to edit that, it's fine. Just to have a minor settlement with like a port and like a level.
You're not gonna edit that one out, but as soon as somebody like, oh, a video numbers, you're like, nah.
People want to hear about Ikit giving a rat job to Meth Gandalf. They don't want to hear about me being like, my video didn't get any views. Anyway.
Question is there porn of that? Because Rule 34 would say yes, but I'm guessing no. So I had Ikit as a vassal. Now, I was trying to keep the High Elves on side, because obviously the last thing I wanted was jacked up elf psycho and his posse of pointy-eared freaks crossing the sea and attacking me while I was trying to deal with other things. So I was kind of like paying off the high elves to basically leave me alone, which was working out quite well. I had a trade agreement with them and everything. Unfortunately, this was upsetting Ikit. So while I was in the Empire, like laying into, I was halfway to Sylvania. Suddenly, Ikit, whose army's sort of milling around, sort of the Altdorf, sort of that sort of area. Suddenly, he went, you know what? Fuck you, and declared war on me.
It's a very Skaven move. Let's be honest. It's kind of on you.
It is, but it completely fucked me over because then I had like 4 or 5 stacks of Ikit running around inside my undefended territory, just having an absolute party, while I was like, oh shit, what am I going to do about this? And scrambling to try and stop it. But it kind of felt like if he wants to be my vassal, surely it should just be. Now I do think there should be, some way for vassals to sort of have pull and be pushed by their overlord. But the problem with Total War is it has none of that, which means that it's so hard to actually keep vassals that it's basically not worth the effort, which means I tend to just have a mod that says, you know what, if they're a vassal, they have no opinions anymore. They're basically just slaves. So you can tell them, and they will do whatever.
Voluntary workers, come on, got to get them.
I mean, the other thing is that if you have a vassal that another faction doesn't hate, they hate you because you've got them as a vassal. You're like, well, I've literally subjugated them, right? They are under my iron fist, so surely that should be fine. But no, they hate your guts anyway, so it's just a mess.
Doesn't Stellaris have that cool system where you have like different types of vassals, a different tier of vassalage?
Yeah.
Vassalages.
It does.
That'd be such a great thing to have in Total War, but I'm just not sure they can manage it. And one thing I did want to say about like the diplomacy system is that like the points thing, where it's like if I give you a settlement, it's like 25 points to green number. I feel like it should really take into account like the realistic, like getting a vassalization shouldn't just be I have this many points, I give you all this thing. It should also be like, should I do this? There should be a bit more into it than that. Other than this binary number.
I don't think they can make that.
No, definitely not. But it'd be nice if it was.
Because I mean, the thing is, you have to remember that before, I want to say maybe it was the same in Warhammer 1, but I want to say in Warhammer 2 was the first game where we got actual numbers for like why they don't want to do stuff. Is that right?
I thought it was still just like high probability.
3.
It was Warhammer 3.
Yeah, high probability, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, we didn't get numbers till Warhammer 3.
Yeah, I think Warhammer 2, the only thing they really changed the end of the game was you could see what you would lose and if you would win auto resolve, because people didn't understand the auto resolve numbers anyway.
God, I remember that. Just like, oh yes, high chance of victory. All my army's gone apart from my lord.
Yeah, it's because the like high chance and like the bars and stuff like that. Like if they had a lot of a big green bar and was like a small red one, that means losses, casualties. They would have like the other side would have a lot of casualties and you would have small amounts. That's why if you put in like more zombie stacks in this, it will look like you have had a lower chance to win, but it would just show like casualty lists. And it's shit like that people just didn't know that made them also just changes. People did complain about that first, like, it becomes easier, but now nobody gives a shit. Now nobody wants to go back to that one, it feels like.
I mean, auto resolve is still a hot mess. I don't know if it's just the vampire counts, but
vampire counts had the worst auto resolve in the game.
They're terrible. The number of times it was like, yeah, I think this is low casualties. And you look at it and you go, well, you're going to kill off 2 of my units. And if I hit this, I know that you're going to reduce all of my units about half health. It's like, yeah, that's low. Don't make me go medium, baby.
Yeah, but the dead rise again, Anyway, vassals.
Not as often as they bloody well should do.
Yeah, but a system like that, Stellaris, one where you can like customize the deal and it's like, all right, you don't have to help me in my wars, but you just have to give me a bit more money. Or I give you less money, but like you give me more milk. Like I can use some of your units. I can just pull your army out if I need it.
I would say this: the best way to like make the vassals better, really easy, is just you don't require any points to get to recruit from them. You can always recruit from them. You get like a free military building as well, like the highest tier.
Mm-hmm.
You get there's a slightly more. Nah, you don't actually need more money. But like you're being able to recruit dudes from there without it costing anything. And just them actually going to do prioritizing your orders.
What,
Or
you
just
mean that
make
you don't
the
want them to
vassals.
stand around for like 15 turns and then be like, oh shit, we could do that. It's like forgetting about your homework to the last minute.
So if they would just do those things, then like personally, I would be pretty like chillax about it. That and not betraying you.
This is the problem. Like, Fred's asking for something very reasonable. You got to ask for the moon so that you then get something very reasonable.
Yeah, maybe. But I still think like those things would be should be the best thing to do. Just be able to recruit that.
I do think that, I mean, the thing they added where you can now recruit allied units into your armies is really cool. And I always like it when you can fight alongside like an allied army. That's always a lot of fun, but it almost never happens because it's nigh on impossible to get the AI to actually do anything in a timely manner. And I also think that the AI is sometimes wildly what's the term I'm looking for? Like they're indecisive. They don't really kind of like, they've got an objective, but are they actually going to get all that? Like, for example, I'm playing Alariel, and we're like Marathi invades Ulthuan. She's all over that shit. Like she is straight in there. She punches straight through to my inner ring. She's all over that inner ring. There's no foreplay. Whereas the other way around, so Tyrion's got 5 stacks. So you'd think that Tyrion's gonna get in there. I watched Tyrion sort of have 5 fleets currently hanging around one of Marathi's like coastal settlements for 3 turns, not doing anything, until Illyrian then sends a fleet over, lands, takes the settlement, at which point Tyrion goes, "Job done, everyone," and sails home. So I was kind of like, I don't know what happened there, but I don't think it was good.
Do the AI, like, do they seek out their victory conditions? Is it possible to lose because an AI wins first?
No.
I feel like that should be a thing because it gives you a bit more agency. Like in Civ, when you're racing for that science victory and you see like England is also racing for that science victory, you're like, well, I need to send nukes to England because otherwise they're going to beat me to space. It gives you that agency to try and beat them.
Yeah, that would be cool, but then you would have to overhaul the victory conditions because as it is right now, it's just like size and like Empire can just confederate a bunch of shit around them, and vampires can just spread like crazy. It's just like there's always one faction that is insanely good at one thing, right?
Yeah, what a shame it means to have to rework the victory conditions.
Yeah, the victory conditions are not very
good
balanced. Some factions have very easy victory conditions and other ones are absolutely insane.
It would be really cool though with like science victory and magic victory and things like that though, but I'm not really sure how they would do that in Total War. It would have to be like landmarks or something.
It's what made the Vortex campaign quite exciting because like you had that incursion. Fair enough, it was just like I spend gold and it slows them down. And it wasn't that interactive, but it was always like, oh shit, I need to...
Spending gold didn't work either, because it would just spawn like a bunch of like armies that would just be wiped out by Order Soul straight away.
Yeah, I need to like kick my like campaign into high gear because Tyrion, he's in his 3rd ritual. I'm only on my 2nd. I need to catch up here, put you under pressure.
But that means we have to then talk about how the Tzeentch Realm of Chaos and the portals and how the AI didn't actually have to give a flying shit about.
Yeah, also how they had to change Vortex as well, so that you didn't have to like race them, you had to just fight them in that case. Yeah. So
I like the idea of like having it actually be a level playing field, but I don't think Total War's ever been a level playing field.
Yeah.
No.
It is a bit much to ask, but
I think what you actually want though is just better win conditions that you sometimes feel an agency to actually do. It's not just, well, I guess I'll do this and you'll just do it in your time, but you actually want like, oh, you have to build this thing because now these dudes are encroaching there and they will build like the most humongous army in the world if they get there first.
I think a lot of the problems around Revenant just come down to the AI is just still a bit shit, which is that's just how it is.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not
better.
Great.
I think it's one of those problems where, some people when they play Minecraft will just stick around and just make houses and stuff like that for forever. And some people would be like, well, what am I supposed to do then? And we've kind of gotten to the point where we're like, well, what are we supposed to do then? Because it is a sandbox after all, right? Like you're supposed to just stick around really and just do your own thing. But yeah.
I think the thing is that if you play a game long enough, you can see all the cracks in it. And I think particularly that is with the AI, right? So I can see it when the AI is being an idiot, when it's like blobbing up around settlements, and I can see that and I go, that's stupid. And I can also, in battles, I know I can do certain things that will, ups. Like if I have a lot of missile units and suddenly I'm fighting a bunch of arc shards or something with shades, and I go, right, I can deal with this because I've got a character on a horse and I'm just going to run them up and down in front of these crossbowmen, so they're all constantly trying to shoot me while my guys are shooting them. I know that I can do that. And I think the problem is that the more you play a game, the more you become sort of immune to its AI, because you know what you can do to it.
Yeah. You stop treating it as like, right, I've got to fight Tyrion and his army of Sisters of Avalon. It's like, right, I just have to fight the AI until it's stupid enough to waste all its ammo. You don't play it like a game. You play it like something that you're breaking.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing Alien Isolation, and that game got awards for its for the AI.
It's so frustrating. It's just bullshit.
I'll be honest. Yeah, the alien's not very bright. It's scary. Don't get me wrong. Like it's very panic inducing, but it's not. It basically just tends to dump itself in front of you, and then freak you out more than. And if you move far, as Fred said, if you just stay on the move, basically it can't catch up with you, so you can just stay ahead of it. It's not actually that good. It's like they went, oh, the AI is amazing, and it's like, well, it's not. It's not really. It looks amazing. It's an illusion. It's not being that smart. It just looks like
it's a horror game. Everything is just an illusion.
Yeah, I think the Vassals. One way to, like, I think an easy way to fix the armies is, and I said this during but we repeat ourselves every episode, so just deal with it. Is if you could like walk up to a allied army and like have the old greenskins, like even the new greenskins wars work. You just like scoop that army up and then you both move as one. Like you just say, I'm gonna take this army for 10 turns, and then it just follows you around, and then you are always fighting with that backing you up.
That would be so good.
I don't know how you could code that, but
I get 75% movement range, but I'm gonna have this army with me.
Yeah,
and on Grim is just like on your back, like that. It's piggybacking.
Because if you make it like the old greenskin war, where it's just, all right, you follow me around, and then they actually do follow you around, they'll just get taken out, because that's what used to happen with the old shitty war.
Yeah.
Like you'll move, and then whoever will have his turn first, and just come and scoop it off you.
Yeah, the problem with that was always the fact that if you were being aggressive and attack something, you'd have to wait for them to catch up with you and hope they got.
I'm going to encircle this army until my friends get here,
and hope they got close enough to join in, which meant it only really worked in sieges. And often, I remember so many times being like, I'd underweighted, the war would underweigh on top of me, and then meant I was stuck until they fucked off, or I disbanded, or I got rid of them. Yeah, it wasn't a very good. Like the idea was there, but yeah, I think they're going to struggle to do anything where armies move together. To be honest, just because it's janky as shit.
The other problem with this idea is it means that you're going to use armies made by the AI. So you're going to have 19 Hellstorm rocket batteries, or like 15 Skaven slaves and 2 Doom wheels. You're just going to have complete shitstorms. It'd be nice if there was a way that you could be like, right, I want you to build this army, and it costs. It doesn't cost you gold, but maybe cost you some allegiance points to request this army from them, and then it takes them a number of turns to provide it to you.
You should just have like, you wouldn't even see it. You would just like, here's the reinforcement points that the AI should come from. That would be great. I remember now, like the best reinforcement I ever had, for a long time, was when I was playing my first LCF campaign, and I just like scooped up my recently confederate. Like I had a confederated car like 1 or 2 turns before or something. And it was this empire map with a big hill on one side. And then just as we were like kind of turning the tide on the battle, like we were seeing maybe like things aren't really bleak, then Karl Franz would show up, and he would have like 10 or 12 cavalry units.
It's like when Gandalf turned up.
Like from the hill as well. And I just felt like this is the best thing ever. I felt like that spark and joy of life that you had when you were a teenager. Like see them just thundering down the hill, just murdering everything. I was like, it's so glorious.
God, those are the moments.
Like, so good.
More of those moments.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
So if you could just scoop up an army and just have the reinforcement point somewhere, that would just be like that. That's it. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do with it. Like the developer sitting there, like, tunneling through the spaghetti, like, that's all you need to do. That's all.
I'm very much.
That, but I'd break ground.
I think I'm very much of the belief that a lot of games live and die by the moment. You know, like there's always that thing that happens in like exactly that story that you will tell over and over again because it was so cool when it happened, and it happens in so many different games. And I think Total War kind of struggles to have those moments because they just kind of suck. Like I think one of mine is I was playing as Gorok and I defended Itza against like Marcus Wolfhart and 6 different. It was just a ridiculous army that was overwhelming. Gorok just managed to slaughter his way through everything. I was like, this guy's a fucking badass with like 2 Saurus warriors left, and he just managed it. It was glorious, like Fred said, but it just doesn't happen very often because the AI is just so wacky.
I'm gonna counter that one and say that it happens quite a lot actually in Total War games where you either try to do like a choke point, like I stream the game a lot, so I have to like talk to people. I don't have to talk to, I can always ignore them, but people come in and talk to me, and a lot of the times people will tell me their story, especially grand strategy games, like always. It's just always going to be like, oh, you know what I managed to do? And they like manage this. It's more slow burns as well. So like I managed to vassalize this person. I managed to do this. I managed to like spread to the east and then like use all these military terms like they're Marcus Aurelius. And I really just love that, honestly, like that passion you can feel when you're, especially when you're new to the game and you just hear about their struggles. You know, when you're jaded like us, you don't really appreciate it, but they're like, and then Vlad showed up and he took 3 of my settlements. It's like, yeah, sounds like one bad turn. But there, let's talk about like it's the event of the lifetime. This is absolutely wonderful to hear about. I love listening to
it's
like this.
It's definitely what like sells games to new players. But like, I get what you mean. Like the more you play it, the less those moments seem that big a deal to you, and you're looking for something you're just chasing that high constantly.
Yeah, we're basically addicts who
Just need a stronger dose.
It's me and Factorio looking for that like 10 extra 4% efficiency that I can get.
I do love conveyor belts. But going back, there was a video of, I think it's someone who does like movie editing or something, who was watching all of the Total War cinematics, sort of commenting about different effects they're using, sort of, and it was such a joy to watch, simply because this guy was getting to like the Warhammer 3 going, are all these factions in the game, like all of them at the same time? That's amazing. And I'm like, yes it is. It's genuinely absolutely like stunning that they've managed to take the Warhammer world and like turn it into a video game and like put the entire world, like that's insane. Just absolutely bonkers that they've managed to do that.
Okay.
And it works.
Best cinematic for each game.
Immortal Empires is the best one of all time. I will accept. No, the Immortal Empires trailer is sick.
Yeah, no, but for each game. So we're gonna go with that one. What Warhammer 1?
I can't remember.
Best one.
Any of them.
Or France.
I quite like the Vampire Council.
Without a shadow of doubt, I think.
Oh wait.
Karl Franz is good. Yes.
Yeah, it makes me so hyped to play the Empire every single time. He's just standing there like a Blackfire Pass, and this like giant horde comes in, and then in the game it's like 8 units coming in, like,
and then like it's just cavalry that charges straight into your halberds and dies instantly, and you're just like, oh.
Yeah, but the trailer is so sick. They should have done a quest battle, which was just orc boys, just 3-4 armies of orc boys. That would be sick.
Because there are some good cinematics in Warhammer 1, but I think they really upped their game in Warhammer 2.
Yeah, 100%.
Like the Prophet and the Warlock with the big nuke, and it could just and then Twisted in the Twilight was fucking sick.
Twisted in the Twilight could have been my favorite one.
That might be the best one.
So good.
It's just it's got such great. This is the most obnoxious thing. It's just got like such great direction. It's like once that freeze frame and it's going through the entire battle, then it's the sisters, then it's just. Yeah,
and the sound design is also 80s fancy. I just like think about the 80s fancy. I know that not a lot of 80s that kind of music, but it's just so good.
It gets you excited to play straight up.
This makes me think of Legends.
Vampire Coast cinematic.
Yeah, that one's good.
That's just good for the music. That's cheating.
It's so good. But then like the Tomb Kings one is really good as well.
I was going to say
that bit where they're sort of like investigating and then suddenly it all kicks off, and it's just that's great.
I would say the Tomb Kings, because I remember the hype around that one. I remember the absolute joy I felt when Hero Time just goes like zap with his eyes. It was just so awesome.
This is the thing. We still love these games. We're not that jaded. We still get hyped about a trailer.
I will always say this. I always say, look, like, I love this game so much. I wouldn't spend. I think I've got like 3,000 hours in Warhammer 3, about 3,000 in Warhammer 2, and like 900 hours in Warhammer 1, which is absolutely insane to think how long I've spent in my life playing these games. I love these games, obviously, but it's still going to piss me off every time the the Siege replay doesn't work because of the DC.
I think one thing that I would change about, especially the recent trailers, is because everyone's not fighting each other anymore. Like Tamerkan isn't fighting Malachi, isn't fighting Elspeth. Like generally, in your average game.
Yeah.
Why don't they just the Immortal Empires one where it zooms in the map and it's like, over here the vampires are fighting the rats, and then over here the elves are fighting Cathay. I wish they'd just do that for the new trailers to show who you will actually be fighting.
I really like the Kislev trailer though. I think it was the first one we saw, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that one's sick.
When she goes out of the tent and stuff like that.
Yeah, because Katarina just looks like an absolute fucking badass. Yeah. I always love the bit where she she marches out of her tent and that guy goes, "Oh, you know what? Don't worry about it." She looks really pissed off. I'm just gonna. I
love that Katarina has the same voice actress as Lacelle from Baldur's Gate 3.
Does she?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's sick. Oh, it's
and you can kind of hear it once you know it. You're like, oh yeah, that's my base cell.
Deborah something maybe. I'm not good at names. But yeah, that's a good bit of trivia.
Yeah,
that's a good. I mean, I think Warhammer 2 was. I think the problem is because we haven't really had an awful lot of DLC in Warhammer 3. Warhammer 2, I can think of like so many really cool, cinematics, and then Warhammer 3, I'm like.
But also like Warhammer 2 also lasted for like 5-6 years or something. 2017 to 2022 was it? 5 years. 5.5 years, something.
Maybe.
Like 1.5 years between Warhammer 1 and 2, and then 5.5 years, something for the next one. But Immortal Empire's trailer is absolutely insane. It is so good. I was a little bit sad that they lost that narrative, like directed narrative, like you were talking about before, where everything goes into one point, but instead like has like this montage of like fighting scenarios, which is it's so badass anyway. Though it's just so good. Like at first maybe I was a little bit sad about that, but now I'm like, Mortal Empire's trailer is so good.
It opens them up to have a lot more creativity because instead of being like, right, we need 3 people who are going to fight each other, and I know you can always find a reason in Warhammer because everyone fights everyone at some point.
Yeah.
But it frees them up to like, well, this guy's gonna fight over here, and I feel like integrating that into the trailers, like the Immortal Empires trailer, would just be so much better than forcing them to all fight each other when it's never really going to happen.
Yes, like they did kind of hint that there was some sort of story with Shadows of Change and like Mother of Stankia, but I don't really know how that worked because I never really. I don't know if that was like what happened in the Realms of Chaos campaign, because in obviously Immortal Empire she starts in Nagaron for some reason, and then has a very confusing final quest battle.
Yeah, it should have been in the trailer her fighting Karl Franz. Excuse what?
But why?
What?
I mean, I don't like old people.
I mean, she's like a force witch. She's fighting a witch hunter.
Yeah, but that's
good co-op.
God damn it, monsters!
I don't understand why. I need to. Like, you know what? If we ever go to like an event at Creative Assembly, I'm gonna really.
He's gonna grab Rich Aldridge. Why?
Why was that happening? And also, why is the Alarial quest battle such a fucking bastard? Just something that I've got in my head right now. In the Alarial quest battle, I'm going to lead into this now. There's you see like there's 3 deployment zones, right? You've got your deployment zone, and then there's 2 enemy deployment zones. But then you've kind of got this cliff, and there's another enemy force that starts behind it that then comes around behind you. But in the map, there's no deployment zone there. The map basically says, here are the rules of this map, and then goes, also I'm cheating, which I hate, so.
I mean, that's just standard. Here are the rules. I will not be following them.
Yes. But that's just always bugged me, so.
I mean, yeah, speaking of things we've talked about endlessly, one of my community members actually made a mod for like compact technology screens, so you don't have like the scroll bar in them.
Nice.
And I'm using that now constantly. It's so good. It's just fits everything into one screen constantly.
Oh my god,
it's so good.
That's like your favorite thing ever.
Yeah, it is actually. It's so good. Compact technology screens is what it's called, by the way. Shout out to Grackle.
Oh my god, I can't believe that modders have done something that Creative Assembly have been like, it's impossible, we can't do that.
Dude, this
dude possibly remove these scroll bars.
He's had to listen to me for like years now. He's talking about, I hate these horizontal scroll bars.
It'd be nice if technology was like not only condensed but just like made more impactful. Like I don't mind waiting 10 turns for like 3 different effects for Dwarf Warriors rather than doing 3 individual texts that each take 3 turns. It just feels so like I'd like it when a tech is complete for me to be like, right, now I want to use this unit or I want to do this thing because of how much it's been improved. Whereas now I'm just like, I'll just do this because I'm going to use them at some point.
Yeah, it never really, none of the technology really feels impactful, does it? It's all very sort of. I think that's a problem with a lot of things in Total War Warhammer is that a lot of like the army buffs and like the
look at this,
the numbers and oh my god, holy shit, they did it.
That's nice.
That was the answer. Make it fucking circles.
Yeah, I mean, like
that, did they?
Like I always said, like you don't need the name because the names mean nothing. If you just like check the names, like you can't tell what the hell they're supposed to be.
No,
there's no way.
You tell me that Trumpeteers doesn't scream speed to you?
Oh my god!
I mean, Trumpeteers is like one of the only logical ones almost, but it's just so good.
That's nice. Nice.
There's going to be some one dev who works at Creative Assembly is going to be watching this and go, these fucking circles. They've done it.
See, you don't watch this. What are you talking
about? They're geniuses. Who knew circles were the answer? What have you done, Fred? You've broken
I apparently broke my camera.
Oh, that's good. What's this episode about? We've just gone so off topic.
Right, let's do DLC hype. So DLC hype. Yeah, are we hyped for the DLC?
As in every Total War DLC, I'm nervous. When I see the trailer, I'll probably be a bit more excited, but Build No Time, I was like, oh god, I just fucking hope it's good. Don't fuck it up again, please.
I think this one will be not as good as the last one. I think it's impossible to go and be better than the last one if you don't actually go with like vampire counts. You can't beat the last one. Because it's just such a popular race. It's like how there's no way Khorne and Ogres are as strong contenders as Empire and Dwarves. Yeah, greenskins may be popular. Personally, I'm like, I think they're a little bit too mid. Personally, just from a gameplay perspective, memes, yeah, it's fine. But
I'd be interested in what the greenskin like. Because obviously they're doing some reworking of most factions. Because I don't think the greenskins feel that bad. I feel like scrap is a little bit wonky because I never really have any because I just occupy rather than raise. But apart from that, I feel like they feel pretty good.
Raising doesn't really make much sense most of the time.
Well, exactly.
It uses all your movement.
Sack or occupy.
Really, yeah.
And then raise later the next turn if you want to get rid of it.
Or loot and occupy.
All that.
Speaking of that, speaking of loot and occupy, I think still like this is something that cracks me up every time I play Siege. Because Siege has this picture for Loot and Occupy, which is literally like a couple of pink cars with like sacks on their shoulders, just running away, like gold and stuff like that, or coming out of it. They're like, it like cracks me up every single time. I'm like, that makes no sense at all, and it's the best thing in the world.
Well, I guess like Demons of Zinch love knowledge, so they might have looted the library and were like carrying books away.
It's gold.
Horrors read.
Maybe they eat.
Everything gets ticked off by GW, so I would guess the answer is yes. Pink horrors can read, and they love stealing shit.
Man, why didn't we ask these questions with Lore Master Sotek was on? Like, why is Sky so big? And are pink horrors literates?
What is Zinch's education system?
We'll save that one for if we ever get some devs on. We'll ask them these hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, why is Sky so big?
Can you fix the Siege replay bug now?
No.
Yeah, I think I think the problem with the DLC is the fact that I'm a big Nurgle stan, so having the Tallyman and Tamakern in a DLC was like, boom, this is my DLC baby, which means that I am less excited about this one.
Yeah, I'm not.
And I hope that's just me and not. But I do get where you are with the nervousness.
I'm not that big a fan of like any of the factions in this. Like, I don't hate greenskins. Ogres are shit, but that's just like how they are in the game. So I'm excited to see them improved, and Khorne's just whatever. And I feel like they're a little bit too similar, Khorne and greenskins. There's not much variety there. Like, obviously they are different, but I know it's just like some angry dudes who fight in the Badlands.
I mean, the problem with greenskins is that personally, I think they have too much variety. They have like literally everything, but they don't excel at a lot of things.
Yeah.
The only really cool thing they have is like the Ragnarok Spider, and like even the Idol, the Rogue Idol, is like too slow to really be like that goddamn good. It's still really cool once it gets there and stuff, but
it should be like a Gabbin Smite. Should be able to turn into a big ball and roll forwards at like 60 miles an hour.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll be balanced.
You want it to Sonic the Hedgehog. You want it to have attitude.
It just turns into a boulder and just rolls. Oh my, that'd be so cracked. But
man, I actually have some Sonic the Hedgehog cologne.
What does it smell like?
It smells exactly like you think it would.
Cheap.
Awful.
Like energy drinks and Axe body spray.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh Jesus Christ!
So it smells like you.
It smells like a 15-year-old, basically.
Yeah, like you are fast. No, it was some anniversary. They sent me a bunch of Sonic stuff, like a Sonic bathrobe and 2 small slippers.
All right, you're gonna have to go acquire that.
Oh yeah, you guys want to see it? All right, hold on.
Oh hell yeah!
Holy shit, that looks amazing!
Oh yeah! Woo!
Nice.
Look at this.
That is plush.
Oh, my wife has stolen it though. It is technically her bathrobe now, but it's a pretty sweet.
Oh, I love the little shoulder stripes. You like a race jacket.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool as heck. And like Sonic cologne and some lights.
Sonic bathrobe.
Why is Total for the next DLC? Send us this. I want a bathrobe of the guy of the advisor.
They'll send me a Sonic the Hedgehog nightlights, which is like this airy blue. My daughter loved that one when she was younger, but then it just didn't work that well after a while. So
I'd love
it to get custom embroidered bathrobes. I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna make my own Total War.
I'd love it if CA sent us out like cool shit. Like it was nice getting a CPU and all, but there's a big glove there from a game that's dead. It'd be nice to have something from a game that's alive. Like, can you imagine a bathrobe of the advisor or a big axe or something?
If you're making if you make your own bathrobe, why don't you just make one with like Sonic Total War instead?
When's Sonic the Hedgehog?
Hire an artist, give them 50. Give them like $50 or something like that, and see if you can get like a good artist just to make like a mock of that. See if it's going to be good on a bathrobe.
How did we get to the Sonic bathrobe? Oh, DLC hype, of course. What free gift would you like for this DLC?
Yeah, what if we could have a free gift for being dirty shills?
I'd like a mug, like a coffee cup that is the Great Maw, and it's got all the spikes, so it's just impossible to drink out. So you're like,
nice. And if you do, it just like runs out. So it's just completely impractical.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, the Great Maw. It's just like holes in the in the bottom, so that like it just drinks everything you put into it. Like the worst things on the planet.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, definitely. I personally, I'm really hyped for Khorne though. I always like Khorne. I mean, like, if I had to follow a Chaos God, it would probably be Khorne, honestly.
You can not go for Papa Nurgle. He just wants to spread the love, baby. I'm always ill anyway. I might as well.
I mean, every single... Like the Chaos Gods will mostly, either ignore you or kind of, like, give you stuff. But, like, Singe will actively try to screw you over. Like, actively try to do this. But Khorne, I feel like you can kind of get away with just, you train like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or something like that all day, and you just like lift stuff and listen to metal music all day, and you're like this is what I do, and I try to be better at fighting.
Khorne's gonna be like, "Where's my skulls, bitch? Where's my blood?" Whereas Slanesh, there's gonna be opportunities there, no matter what you like. Zinch, right? Yes, he tries to dick you over all the time, but we live in a capitalist society. That's basically life. And Nurgle, he's just a friendly kind of guy, whereas Khorne's going to be all.
Yeah, but the problem is with Nurgle.
Environment.
But the problem with Nurgle is that he's gonna love everything in you as well, and gonna put more stuff in you as well.
Oh yeah, baby! Don't tempt me.
So
It's
he's
a
gonna
good
be like a
time.
little festering ground. Because he loves you even if you're dead. Because then you're just gonna have like more bacteria and stuff. So I don't know, man.
He loves you beyond life. What more could you ask for?
Because I always wanted like a novel about really, really casual chaos worshippers that are loved by their god. Like imagine some.
It's just like a Christian that goes to church every Sunday, but like it's a chaos god instead.
Yeah, but it's like now obviously this has nothing to do with me, but like a dad in his close to 40 or something like that who just goes to like the blood sport arena every 3 months, and he's like really casual about it. He's like, I fight there. I'm gonna maybe fight again in 3 months when I heal up again. I don't want to overdo it. I just like doing this a little bit more and more. I work retail otherwise, things like that. And everybody's just like, why does he get more corn gifts? And Corey's like, heck yeah, this guy, go Dave, go.
You got this, man.
Yeah, or someone who's like really casual Nurgle worshiper who's like, yeah, they're always well, but their kids always have like a little bit of it, like will sneeze every once in a while and just infect other people.
It's not just
they're the
everyone
only
has
ones
kids.
who doesn't get like sick. And Nurgle's just gonna be like, my boy Steve over there. And he's like 5 kids, always like every once in a while, like, tuh! But otherwise like completely well.
That's
and they're like,
general, isn't it?
Yeah, but but they don't bring it like the plague kind of stays outside the house to spread it to everyone else. Like really weird stuff like that. Just really, really casual stuff. That would be so. I think that would be funny novels. Maybe, I don't know.
I like that. You know what? I was watching a video which was reviewing the I can't remember the name of the book now, but it's one of the Warhammer 40k crime books. Which I really like the Warhammer 40k crime books because it's less bolter porn and more just like seeing how the world works, which I really like. And that kind of story would fit well in there, I think. Like just having this like family who spread plague, maybe even unwittingly, but they're always well, but everyone around them is like putrefying and super sick. And these guys are like, well, I don't know how we haven't got it yet, but they're the actual plague vector. I think is actually a really nice idea. So
there's someone like, I got a little bit of wonky shoulder since last time, but it's healing up pretty nicely. It's like, oh, really? What you do? It's this little pit that I go to every once in a while. What do you mean a pit? Like a fighting pit. Got to get some aggressions out. I'll use axes. Yeah.
See that kind of like having an underground like blood, because that's what the in Necromunda who are the guys who like meat? Those guys, they're basically corn worshippers, but sort of underground corn worshippers. And they just like cutting people up. Basically, it's kind of their thing.
There's also a big chaos circus or something like that underneath Altdorf.
Speaking of
the Carnival of Chaos or something. Yeah.
Speaking of cutting things up, we should probably get close to cutting this one off because Monster's got a work meeting.
Do we hate each other now? Do we?
After a year.
I mean, that implies that we didn't before. I think it's easy to talk now, which is just like an inherent thing of talking to the same people like once or twice a month.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what? I think content creation is quite isolating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I know you've got people to talk to, but there's not a lot of opportunity to actually like talk with people, and this kind of thing is just really nice because you get to communicate with other people, other content creators.
Yeah.
In your circle.
You get you like when we were frustrated about like pre-Shadows of Change, I was just like getting pissed off and stressed and upset about things by myself. But like since this, like there was some minor drama with something or other, and I remember just like we could talk about it, and it's like you feel a bit better about it because you have reliable communication about it. Yeah. And you can monetize it as well, which helps.
That does help, yeah. Got to get that dough, baby.
Indeed.
So I don't hate either of you, but I totally understand if you hate me.
I would be out of here in a second if I just got my family back.
You didn't say no.
So what have we been playing?
Come on.
No, I've always been enjoying these ones. I'm always the one who's like sitting there like, these are ideas that we should do. These we should be that. This is like the first one, 7 months all of that, where you guys are like, should we do one now Tuesday? And I was like, Yeah, we should.
That's good. It's cathartic, isn't it? It's cathartic and it's good. And also, we should move. What have we been playing?
Factorio.
You've been playing a lot of Factorio.
I've played 48 hours in the last 2 weeks.
What the hell, mate? Are you okay? Do we need to?
Fine. I'm having a great time. The DLC is very good. I've been to space. I've been to 2 different planets. Although I got to a planet last night and
DLC.
The Space Age, yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, no. Now I've got to install that.
Yeah, it's absorbed all my time, and I got to a planet last night, and then I was like, oh shit, I need to like import a load of more things. So I'm just like stood on this planet, like looking up, waiting for my rocket to come back with things to deliver to me. But it's fantastic, truly. And that's it. I've all been playing.
Well, I have been. I might move on to Factorio now, but I have been playing my latest addiction, which is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Splintered Fate, which is basically a Hades clone. So it's very much Hades, same sort of idea that you go from room to room, picking up upgrades, and then you die, and you go back, and you can spend like some resources that you picked up along the way to give yourself bonuses, and then you go back and do another run and try and get further and so forth. Now this was actually a mobile game, I think. However, it is much better than it has any right to be. It's fully voice acted. The animation is great. It's got loads of the characters from the lore, like Slash and Casey and April and some like Bebop and Rocksteady, all that kind of stuff. And it's just
I love that
really
they call this
game.
lore as well. I just love that. It's always like the Turtles lore. I love that.
Oh, there's so much Turtles lore.
Yeah, I used to read the comics when I was a kid.
Ah, it's so good. There's even a character called Nobody who I was like, I don't know who the fuck that is. I had to look it up on the Turtles wiki. And apparently it's like a whole extra thing. And I was like, oh, this is great. And then I spent about 3 hours just reading through the Turtles wiki because, that's the kind of thing you do.
I think the only Turtles media I've communicated with is that movie that came out in the 2000s.
There's actually been some really good movies.
Apparently the most recent one was good. That was like hand-drawn and acted by actual kids.
Yeah. But there's some really good stuff.
It's like, yeah, it's actually could take child labor. I enjoy that.
Well, because like they're meant to be like tweens or teens, depending on when they are in their journey. But like in every movie, it's like, hello, I'm Leonardo. I'm 15 years old. And it's like John Freeman or someone that's acting. It's like just someone that's totally old.
I love that. Otherwise, in like movies from the night and stuff like that, where somebody's clearly like 35 and like did roids for a bit, sitting there like some high school bench, just like, look at my methods.
I do like the fact that they've made the turtles, because it used to be turtles were all basically the same, just different colors. But in some of them, you've now got like Raphael's like this massively fucking hench, like monster dude, which I quite like because.
Oh yeah, those were the newer comics, right? I think I've seen those.
Yeah, so it's really good, very addictive, and I am playing a lot of that.
Not for long.
I played so many goddamn things. Metal Slug Tactics was really cool, like really old school vibes with graphics and sounds.
Was
Sonic.
that the one you played on stream which had that sort of weird fantasy thing, and then went modern day, and then went fantasy again?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
that one has. We did play also Sonic, the new Sonic game, which is like really good. It's insane. Actually, it has like 97% positive reviews from 5.4 thousand reviews.
Pretty good.
Worshippers of Cthulhu, which is a colony sim, but with Cthulhu. Yeah, it was pretty decent, honestly. It's not the best colony sim. The best colony sims are still like Anno, Timberborn, and like if you count RimWorld as a colony sim. Songs of Silence is pretty cool as well. Finally got around to like hard testing Against the Storm, which is a great game.
I see you've been playing Metro Awakening.
I've tried to, yeah, but like something's wrong with my Wi-Fi, so I'm not getting the Airlink going really. I can't say too much about it, but I only got 2 games left here. Sears Gambit is a pretty cool auto battler. Got released actually just recently. It's neat. and 420 Blaze It 2. The full title is actually 420 Blaze It 2 Game of the Year. Dank Dreams Go to Memes. Hashtag wow/11 like subscribe Poggers Edition. And there's so many pop-ups and like so many memes that I'm fairly sure that's like unfortunately the like shooting mechanics are really, really solid. But if you have epilepsy or something like that, the game will straight up kill you. Like Ilias, like there's so much stuff happening all the time.
I've heard that it's like an actual solid game, but then it's just insane.
Yeah. Like first boss is like Mecha Shrek or Mecha Shirk. And everything is like AI voice as well. Like, oh no. It's like the old AI voice as well before they were
like Microsoft, what's his face?
Yeah, Microsoft Sam almost, but like worse. And it's all memes constantly. It's just, yeah, you can rocket jump, but it's only if you take like food that makes your stomach bad or something. So yeah, unfortunately, it's a really solid shooter though. Unfortunately,
why would you do that to yourself?
It's good. Honestly, I like shooters. Well, those types of shooters anyway. Well, not the meme ones, but like solid single player shooters.
Right.
Cool.
Are we all wrapped up?
Yeah.
I think so. Thank you for a year.
Yeah, thank you for a year. Everybody here and also everybody watching. If there's anyone left at this point, Jesus Christ. Why? This one's been a mess. I'm going to do my best to cut it up, but no, I've enjoyed it.
Why edit? Just have like it's a 1 year anniversary episode. It can just be a mess.
Just put the recording. Don't even like move us around and put chapters in. Nah.
Well, maybe a little bit.
The title is just a recording name, like 19th of November 2003.
I clicked on a thing like that the other day because I thought it was like a meme name or something like that. Then I saw like 20 views. I was like, oh, this is just his recording that he just uploaded.
That's where you found the gold.
21.
Yeah.
So it drew you in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, it did work. Best clickbait so far. You know, automated thumbnail, everything.
Okay, mate.